Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Sukatandikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udapatakamanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Dalita Shivishakhamitam Ye Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpada Rupecha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhudale Shrimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shikshartham Eka Purusha Puran Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Pudirgyastamaham Prapadye Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Mami Bhakta Shaktikam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tat Bhaktaya Namo. Hare Krishna Hare Tat. So welcome all the devotees for today's Chaitanya Charitamrita class. We are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, first chapter, 56 sloka onwards. Hare Krishna. एतावद् एव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वया व्यतिरेखाभ्यां यस्या सर्वत्र सर्वदा एतावद् एव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञास्यनात्मनः अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्यां यस्या सर्वत्र सर्वदा. Okay, any two devotees?
एतावद्येव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
Hari Bol.
एतावदेव जिज्ञास्यं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वया व्यतिरेकाभ्यां यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा.
Very well, thank you. So, a person interested in transcendental knowledge must therefore always directly and indirectly inquire about it to know the all-pervading truth. So here, Kaviraj Goswami is instructing us that one should always directly and indirectly inquire about the supreme absolute truth. Those who are interested in acquiring this transcendental knowledge, because most of us in the material world are interested in material knowledge. Very seldom people inquire about the transcendental knowledge. But the Vedanta Sutra tells us that Athato Brahma Jitnyasa. What does it mean? Now, let me inquire about the supreme absolute truth. Because in other species of life, it is not possible. Only in human forms of life, it is possible to inquire about the supreme absolute truth. So this is Vidya. And the material knowledge of Vidya. That is secondary. If we know this, and that will automatically be acquired. Avidya. Avidya is also required. Avidya means material knowledge. But what is primary? Vidya. That is transcendental knowledge. So one who is thorough with the transcendental knowledge is automatically knows the material knowledge also. For any reason, suppose one is not well versed in the material knowledge, but still he can very happily live in this material world if they are thorough in the spiritual knowledge. Just go back some 50, 75 years, 100 years back. There were no many schools, colleges, universities. Now it is flourishing left, right, and center. You can see so many education institutions, so-called, so many hospitals. 100 years back, did we find any hospitals? Did we find any educational institution like this? Very rare. Some universities, Nalanda, Takshashila, some universities were there, Indus Valley civilization were there, but based on spiritual education. Although science, technology, everything was there, but the primary importance was given for Gurukula Vidyabhyasa, means spiritual. How to take this human being, this living entity, beyond this material realm. That is the purpose. The purpose of education is to give liberation from this material existence. But now the material education is, encouraging us to come back again and again in lower species. Because the way the education is given or imparted to us on competition basis, matsarya, enviousness, enmity. Okay, that is what is going on in the name of education. Nobody is happy when the other person is, progressing in life on material platform. Everybody is envious of the other person. Okay, even in school or colleges, if somebody is getting half a mark above the other person, now it goes to the extent that they commit suicide just because they lost half a mark to the other person. Maybe it is 98%, 98.5%, because classmate got 99%. I lost half a mark. So this is how the education is going on. Unnecessary, unhealthy competition. But spiritually, if a devotee is progressing much better than me or much better than others, we are unhappy, we'll encourage. Please, okay, you are getting the mercy of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, and we are very happy. Please help us also. That is how. Material education is totally the opposite. It's only increases the envious nature. So in spiritual world, there is a word, envy, no vacancy. What does it mean? If you have envy, there is no vacancy in the spiritual world. Okay, so we should not have envy. Only those who are not having envy can go there, eligible to go there. So those who are serious about the knowledge of the transcendental world, which is far beyond the material cosmic creation, must approach a bona fide spiritual master to learn science both directly and indirectly. So it is a must that we should approach a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada, always had bona fide, this particular word for spiritual. Why? Because there are so many so-called pseudo-spiritual masters in the Kali Yuga. So not to get trapped in their net, he is always mentioning bona fide, authentic. One must learn both the means to approach the desired destination and the hindrances to such progresses. So what is our destination? Vaikunta, Goloka Vrindavana. Okay. Now, if there are any hindrances to go there, we should be very careful how we can remove that hindrances, and so that we can progress in the right direction. The spiritual master knows how to regulate the habits of a neophyte disciple, and therefore a serious student must learn the science in all its aspects from him. So the spiritual master is well versed in the subject matter of Vedas knowledge. He knows how to train or cultivate, especially from the neophyte stage to the middle and ultimately to the higher level of consciousness. So, are we neophyte? What is our position? Hmm?
Always a neophyte, Prabhuji, in my case.
Okay, we are in the beginning stage. Or any one of us think that we are in the Madhyama level or Uttama level? Hmm? Or are we in the Kanishta level still? After 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, still Kanishta? Okay, it's a big question. So if we are at least transcended this Kanishta level to Madhyama or to Uttama, we can test ourselves. Are we envious of others? Even subtly, forget about gross level. Even on a subtle level, are we envious? Hmm?
Sometimes, Prabhuji.
Is there? Sometimes is there, no?
Yeah, it will be there because I'm a polluted soul. So how can I say that I'm out of enviousness? Because as far as I'm living in the material world. In some of the situations, I feel envious. So
Yeah.
because there is purity is not there in me yet.
So that means we are all still on the of its stage. Okay, because see, irrespective of who we are, whether we are a devotee or non-devotee, bhakta or abhakta, they're all children of Krishna. We love Krishna, but we don't love Krishna's children. How it can be? For example, we are going to house. I want to develop a friendship with, some person, X person, and I'm going to his house, and I'm having good conversation, exchanging give this and that, and while coming, I'll give a nice slap to his son. Will he be interested in developing relationship with me? No. Similarly, Krishna's children, all, irrespective of what body they have. They may have human body, animal body, aquatic body, bird's body, worm's body. We are trying to disturb the other children of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are taking care of only this species, even not that, not all, only our relatives, our friends. Those something happens to some people, some far corner of the world, another state, another country, we are least bothered. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna, when we love Krishna, we have to love his all children, material nature, his paraphernalia, irrespective of whether they are devotees or non-devotees or humans or non-humans. Then only we can progress. So unless and until we come to that stage, we will still be in neophyte stage. We love Krishna, okay, and we worship Krishna, but Krishna's other children we hate or we don't treat them properly. Krishna doesn't like that. So those who have developed, those who have progressed, only will come to the stage of Madhyama level. And from Madhyama, what they do, they have good knowledge, conversant with the philosophies. They treat everybody nicely, but they don't mingle with the non-devotees, not to invite any trouble. And above that is Uttama Dhiyaris. They see equally everyone, irrespective of what body they are in. Okay? They don't discriminate based on the bodily. Uttama Dhiyaris. They don't hurt those living entities just because they don't have a human body. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Asini Suni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. Pandita Samadarshana. Equal. Whether they are in the human body or cow body or elephant body or lion body, it's okay. That is Uttama level. But at the same time, they know how they should treat, those living entities with different body other than human. They equally see, but the treatment is not equal. Is it right? A Uttamadhikari equally see everyone, irrespective of the body they are in. But they don't treat everyone equally. Why?
we need to know the knowledge, how to discriminate while educating the people. We have to discriminate and educate them accordingly.
It's very good. Yes, Mataji. We have to discriminate. So just because they're all the children of Supreme Lord, the lion is also Supreme Lord's children, and the dog, cats, all are Supreme Lord children. But can we go and hug the lion? It's a good proposition. Then we'll be hearing a mantra, Mahaprasade Govinde. Okay, so we have to treat them equally. They're all children of God. We should not harm them. We should not do hinsa against them. Okay, we should not disturb them. Let them evolve in their that cycle to human, just like how we have evolved. But then treatment should be suitable to that body. We cannot go and hug because they are in different consciousness, okay, the different body. So accordingly, we have to treat them. So treatment is suitable treatment we should give, but vision should be equal. That's also soul, Sachidananda. We are also soul, Sachidananda. So if you want to know the differences between different living entities and the Prakriti and what a human being should do, how he should behave, how we should get this knowledge, transcend knowledge, which others cannot. We have the facility in this body, human body, to know the higher truth, which others cannot. So just because that they cannot, we should not disturb them, we should not harm them, we should not do himsa or violence against them. Let us give a chance for them also to progress in the evolution cycle and let them also come to the platform of human life. We should not check their progress. If you are killing an animal, we are checking their evolutionary cycle. So we should be careful. So this knowledge is not imparted in any college or school or universities. This is given only in the Gurukula Vidyabhyasa or in the ancient way of education system, not in the modern way of education system, which you have taken or borrowed from the Western culture. So this is actually we are going backward. Technologically, we are going, forward, fast forward, but which is only taking us spiritually backward. It may give us some facilities, some comfort, some material enjoyment, but spiritually we are going backward if we are adopting the Western culture. So we should use the technology for spiritual activities. Now, for example, we are using this Zoom, we are using the laptop and mobile and all. For what? For spiritual purpose. It's okay. But if we are using this for our material sense gratification, then it will take us only backward. We can use it. Anything, Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means we should use it in the service of the Lord for His satisfaction, not for our sense gratification. So the spiritual master knows how to regulate the habits of a neophyte's disciple, and therefore a serious student must learn the science in all its aspects from him. So only a spiritual master who is detached from all these material comforts and facilities and attachment can impart this knowledge to us. Not any university, professor or lecturer. Definitely, they're all good. They are doing good to the society, but unfortunately, we are using it for a wrong purpose. So there are different grades and standards of prosperity. The standard of comfort and happiness conceived by a common man engaged in material labor is the lowest grade of happiness, for it is in relation with the body. See, Prabhupada, just give a good punch. There are different grades of standards of prosperity. The standard of comfort and happiness conceived by a common man engaged in material labor is the lowest grade of happiness. It's the lowest. So what we are aspiring to enjoy in this material world is the lowest grade of happiness because it is only for the body. The happiness is only for the body, not for higher level, not for mind, not for soul. Okay. So material happiness maximum can go up to the level of mind. From body, that is gross and subtle. But what is real happiness? The happiness of the soul. That is the real happiness. So Anandam, as we always, say, there are Jadananda, okay, there is Brahmananda, there is Premananda, there is Sevananda. So Ananda means bliss. Bliss can never be decreased, it increases. That's why it is said that Anandambudhi Vardhanam. It keeps increasing. Happiness keeps decreasing as we enjoy it. Happiness is for the body and for the mind maximum. For the soul, it is bliss, Ananda. And Ananda never decreases. Ananda keeps increasing. So any happiness that we get to the body and mind is flickering, it is temporary, and it diminishes as we enjoy it. Okay, just like let's take an example of food. So what food you like, Sachi Mataji, the most?
Krishna Prabhu. Sweets, Prabhu.
Sweets. Okay. Laddu?
Anything in the form of sweet, Prabhuji.
So I'll bring 1 kilo laddu. I'm telling you, eat all the 1 kilo at a time. Can you?
After that, I will not eat sweets, Prabhuji.
So that means as you indulge more in sense gratification, material sense gratification, now the taste for that decreases. That at least for that type. Later you may again want it. That's a different case. But there is a cessation. There is a satiation of what do you call happiness in any material enjoyment. Now, bus enough is enough. I don't want now. Now only afternoon I will have, or in the evening. Okay. Once my stomach is full in the morning, if somebody say, give me one or take one more plate. No, enough, I cannot have. But spiritual happiness is bliss. It's not like that. The more you hear, the more you want to hear again. There is no satiation. You get satisfaction, but not satiation. You want to have, that is only when we develop a taste for spiritual activities. Because we are filled with so much of material, junk in our brain and mind. We have no interest in spiritual activities or spiritual knowledge. That's the reason. Because the happiness is temporary, it is in relationship with the body. That is flickering, and that will not give us permanent or eternal joy. The highest standard of such bodily comfort is achieved by a fruity worker who by pious activities reaches the plane of heaven or the kingdom of the creative gods with their delegated powers. So in the material world, what is the highest happiness? One's who gets transferred to the heavenly planets where you can enjoy materially the maximum. But again, that's a place of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. It is not free from all this for vicious cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So, but the conception of comfortable life in heaven is insignificant in comparison to the happiness enjoyed in this impersonal Brahman and the Brahmanda. The spiritual bliss derived from impersonal Brahman is like the water in the hoofprint of a calf compared to the ocean of love of Godhead. So as I told you, Jadananda, Ananda or happiness that derives on a bodily level. When we get some good dishes, when we see some good movie, when we listen to some good, Bollywood song or Hollywood song or Mollywood song, we get some happiness. Isn't it? This is what level? Jadananda, on a bodily level. Okay. Then Brahmananda. What is Brahmananda? Once we get liberation from this bodily level of consciousness, once we go to the Brahman effulgence, especially Jnanis, they get Brahmananda, merging into the Brahman, supposedly merging. They are not merging, but that is what they feel. Whatever happiness when they get, it is not happiness, it's a peace of mind. There is no happiness there. Why? Because there is no service there. You want to lose your identity. When you don't have identity, how can you serve? So this is the Brahmananda, beyond Jadananda. And beyond Brahmananda is Premananda. When we go to the spiritual world, when we engage in devotional activities, and when we engage in sweet, loving exchanges with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is a bliss that never diminishes and keeps increasing. Anandam Udevardhanam. And even beyond that is Sevananda. So Brahmananda, when we get Krishna Prema, but when we engage in service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is highest. So Jadananda, Brahmananda, Premananda, and Sevananda. So the highest bliss is that only when you, just like there is a relationship, okay, husband and wife. Wife says, tells husband, I love you. Husband says in turn, I love you. But there is no service. How it will be? Wife is telling husband, I love you. But when husband comes from office, nothing is prepared, no food, the house is not kept properly. It is here and there, scattered everything. There is no service. So will there be love? It's only lip service. So love means service. That's why Prabhupada has put his devotional service, just not devotion. Devotion, if devotion is there should be service. So in service, we get more bliss, more happiness. So that is highest. So the Brahmananda is compared to the water contained in the hoofprint of a calf versus the ocean. That is Premananda or Paramananda. When one develops pure love for the Lord, it derives an ocean of transcendental happiness from the association of the personality of Godhead. To qualify oneself to reach this stage of life is the highest perfection. Krishna says, see, my devotees, they are not after liberation. They reject liberation if that liberation is without any service. So, Salokya, Samipya, Sashti, and Sarupya. These 4 types of liberation mainly, my devotees will reject if they are not with service. They don't want to hang around in Vaikunta or Golokondavana simply for the sake of associating with Supreme Lord without service. Definitely there is service in the Vaikunta, Golokondavana. But for argument's sake, suppose we are getting transferred from this material world to the spiritual world, as Salokya or Samipya or Sashti or Sarupya. The devotees will never accept if it is without any service to the Supreme Lord. That's what Krishna says. So service is the highest. So one should try to purchase a ticket to go back home, back to Godhead. The price of such a ticket is one's interest, desire for it, which is not easily awakened, even if one continuously performs pious activities for thousands of lives. So it is not easy. We cannot just buy a ticket and go to Vrindavana or Vaikunta. So even if we continuously perform pious activities for thousands of lives, we will not be able to get there unless we have an intense desire. Tivra Icha. We cannot take it, casually. When it comes, let it come. Then it will never come. We will be undergoing the vicious cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. So that cycle we keep continuing. So what we should have the intense desire to attain that ultimate goal. So all mundane relationships are sure to be broken in the course of time, but once one establishes a relationship with the personality of God in a particular rasa, it's never to be broken, even after annihilation of the material world. So the relationship with the Supreme Lord in different dasas, according to the desire of the living entity, can never be broken, even after annihilation of the material world. But the temporary relationship, the material body relationship, It is temporary. It can be broken anytime. Be it whatever may be the relationship, the thickest relationship. What is the thickest relationship in the material world? Which relationship?
Mother and child.
Vatsalya, Prabhu.
Husband and wife.
Husband, Prabhuji.
Husband and wife. You may say anything, but this is a true this thing. Not even parents and children. That for some time it is there. Yes, I don't say no. Generally speaking, the thickest relationship is between husband and wife. The relationship with the parents are there, but after some time it reduces. After marriage, just see. You see any household, the relationship with the mother and father reduces. Then they have their own family, husband and wife, then children. Mother or father, once in a while, if they get time, they will visit. They may send some money. They will do this and that. But the relationship, that also breaks. There's no guarantee that this is because it's on a bodily platform. But the spiritual relationship is forever. It never breaks. Whether you like Krishna or not, there are many atheistic mentality people, many partialities, those who doesn't believe in God. But still, Krishna never say no, because he doesn't believe in me. No, I will not stay as Paramatma in his heart. Will he ever say that? Never. He is always there in everybody's heart as Paramatma, whether they are Nastik or Astik. That is a relationship. That is permanent relationship. This husband and wife, parents and children, friends, all this relationship is temporary only for this particular body. Next life, we will have a set of different parents, different wife, different husband, different children, different friends, different neighbors, different pets, all different. Nothing is permanent. So this is temporary, but the only permanent relationship is the Supreme Lord. That never breaks, that never is annihilated, even after the annihilation of the material world. One should understand through the transparent medium of the spiritual master that the Supreme Lord exists everywhere in his transcendental spiritual nature, and that the living entity's relationship with the Lord are directly and indirectly existing everywhere, even in this material world. How? In the form of Paramatma. He is all pervasive. He is there in you, he is there in me, he is there in the dog, he is in the worm, he is in the bird, everywhere, even in every atom in Jada also. Non-living entities also is there. So in the spiritual world, there are 5 kinds of relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there are 5 types of mellows, relationship with which we can have with the Supreme Lord. That is Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. The perverted reflections of these rasas are found in the material world. Land, form, furniture and other inert material objects are called in Shanta. So what is the real relationship? Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. The perverted reflections of these rasas are also found in the material. Land, home, furniture and other inert material objects are called related in Shanta because they are passive, not active. Okay? Jada, or the neutral and silent sense. Whereas servants work in Dasya relationship, we can find even the material world. So all these things in the material comparison, Prabhupada has given. Land, home, furniture are all in the Shantarasa. We use them. Rather, we love them and we use the people. The living entities we use, and the jada, the dull matter, which gives some temporary pleasure to our senses, we treat them as living entities. We love them. I love the mobile phone than the living entity who is supporting me, wife or husband or a father or children, whoever it is. This is the Kali Yuga. Okay, Kali Yuga, people uses people and love devices. So that is so in the comparison in this material nature, land, home, furniture, etc. are supposed to be in Shanta, and there is Dasya, servants are there, subordinates are there. We take service from them. They're all in the Dasya relationship. Reciprocation between friends are called Sakya. So in the material realm also it is fine, equals, peers. Okay. So in the Sakya Rasa, the affection of a parent for a child is known as Vatsalya. So relationship between the children and the parents, it's Vatsalya. And the affairs of conjugal love constitute Madhurya, that is between, husband and wife. These 5 relationships in the material world are distorted reflections of the original pure sentiments, which should be understood and perfected in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. These are all perverted relationships in the material world. Because this relationship or these mellows, we are giving to temporary personalities. Temporary. That's why it's a perverted reflection. It's not eternal. But the relationship with the Supreme Lord is eternal. So whether in Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya or Madhurya, depending upon our Surupa and our relation with the Supreme Lord, it is going to be it is permanent. It is eternal. What is our Surupa? Jivera Surupa Haye Krishnera Nitya Das. Whether we are in conjugal love, mellow, or in Vasalya mellow, or in Sakya mellow, or Dasya mellow, or Shanta mellow, we are all servants. That is our sthayi bhav. One should say, I am in conjugal with the Supreme Lord. Okay, whatever I say, the Supreme Lord will listen. Isn't it? We should always subordinate, subservient to Supreme Lord. And our duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. Gopis thought that they had little, pride in their mind. Krishna is mine. Okay, when they had that little pride in their mind, Krishna immediately disappeared. Then they're all searching. They're asking the trees, they're asking the river, Yamuna, they're asking other living entities, where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Then immediately Krishna appeared with 4 hands, Narayana. They paid obeisances straight away. Panchang Pranam. No, where is my Krishna? Krishna is standing just right in front of them, but not in the same form as Krishna, but Vishnu is following. They don't want that. They want the 2-handed form Shyamasundara Krishna, because they cannot relate with Narayana as their friend, as their conjugal friend. So that's the reason. So different rasas can be exhibited in Gola Govindavana, not in Vaikuntha. Now all the 5 rasas, Shanta, Dasya, and what you call Sakya, Masalya, Madhurya, all you can find in Goloka. But you can find Shanta, Dasya in Vaikuntha, not Sakya. You cannot put your hand on the shoulder of Vishnu and chit chat. Can you? And there are any parents there for Vishnu, Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha? No Valsalya. Conjugal, yes, Lakshmi ji is there. Not other living entities. That is a prerogative of only Lakshmi ji. Sahasra, not 1 or 2 Lakshmi. Thousands of Lakshmis are also there, serving the lotus feet of Supreme. Although, even Lakshmi ji is in the conjugal relationship, but her position is at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Isn't it? But in Vrindavana, conjugal love means Radharani is telling, or Gopika is telling, please carry me on your shoulder. Immediately Krishna agrees to carry Radharani on his shoulder. Because in Vrindavana, neither Krishna is God, nor the Vrajavasis know that he is God. Everything is eclipsed, everything is covered. So there is no point of God and living in this relation. It is, the Sakha says, Who you think that you are big? No, no, no. I am big because my father has more than your father, the cows, more number of cows than your father. Your father has only a 900,000, 9 lakhs. My father has 1,200, 1,200. I mean, 1 lakh 200,000. So 1 lakh 20,000 cows. Not 1 million, 12 lakhs, 1,200,000. 9 lakhs, 12 lakhs. So who is big? The Sakhas are arguing with Krishna. So you are not big. My father is big. I am big. So who is arguing? The Sakhas are arguing with the Supreme Personality of God. So that is the rasa there. So it's very, very sweet rasa. Yashodama is trying to bind Krishna to the wooden mortar because he's so mischievous. Can anybody in any this thing, any religion, think of binding the Supreme Lord? So this is the sweet exchange of relationship that we can have. So these rasas can be really enjoyed. And, Krishna is enjoying the rasa and the Brajavasis are also enjoying the rasa. Aho bhagyam nanda gopa brajokasham yanmitram paramanandam purna brahma sanatanam. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Aho bhagyam. How fortunate. Who? The Brajavasis. Aho bhagyam. Nanda Gopa Brajokasham. Okay. Nandas and the Gopas, who are the inhabitants of Braja. How fortunate is that? Why? Yan Mitram Paramananda. Supreme Lord is there behaving or exchanging relationship with all of them as friend. Who is that? Purna Brahma Sanatana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purna Purushottam Bhagavan in the Braja is, exchanging loving relationship in different mellows, just like friends are exchanging. So how fortunate the Brajavasis are. So like that, to have at least to understand this theoretically, we are also very, very fortunate. We may attain there, if not today, tomorrow, definitely, because we are on the right path. We have boarded the right train. It's a matter of time. We should ensure that we don't get down in between. We should get down only the ultimate destination. Suppose we are going from, Chennai to Mumbai. We have boarded the train. Before reaching Mumbai, we get down any station, we will miss reaching Bombay. Similarly, now we have boarded the spiritual train already from this planet. It's a matter of reaching there. It may take some time. There will be some problem in between, but we should overcome that. We should ensure that we don't get down in between any station. We should have patience and continue devotional activities favorably so that ultimately, if not in this life, definitely in the coming 1 or 2 life, we'll reach that ultimate destination. So in the material world, the perverted rasas bring frustration. Whatever we do, we may be happy for some time, but later we'll be fresh. Oh, I'm not happy. Why I'm not happy? We'll think, isn't it? Suppose now I should have some money. I will become happy when I get 1 lakh rupees. I'm trying, and at last I succeeded to get 1 lakh rupees. When I get 1 lakh rupees, I'm seeing that Prabhu or that Mataji is having 2 lakhs rupees. Oh, then I'm trying to reach that 2 lakhs. Then I'm seeing that that person has reached 5 lakhs. So never we will become happy in this material world. Only it brings frustration because we are always comparing with others. So that brings frustration. So if these rasas are re-established with Lord Krishna, result is eternal blissful life. So we have misdirected our relationship to temporary people of this material world. If you direct our relationship with the permanent personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are on the right path. We will never get frustration in this material world. From this and the preceding 3 verses in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which have been selected from Srimad Bhagavatam, the missionary activities of Lord Chaitanya can be understood. Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses, which are summarized in the 4 verses beginning with Aham Eva Samagra Evagre. So 53 to 56, these 4 verses have been explained just the last class and last to last class. Okay, 53, 54, 55, 56. These are the 4 seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chatushloki, which we have explained in detail. So in the first of these verses, 53, the transcendental nature of the Krishna, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is explained. Okay, the first, in the first 3 verses. The first 3 verses. Second, the first of these verses. Second verse, 54, further explains that the Lord is detached from the workings of the material energy, is totally aloof. Although he is the material world, he is the ultimate controller, master, proprietor, everything. He is not attached to it. Okay. The living, second verse, yeah. The living entities, although parts and parcel of Lord Krishna, are prone to be controlled by the external energy. Therefore, although they are spiritual in the material world, they are encased in bodies of material energy. So, although technically we are superior to the material energy, we are controlled by the material energy because of our minutest nature. The material energy is vast. It is the Lord's energy. We are spiritual, but very minute. So we cannot control that material energy, which is the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The eternal relationship of the living entities with the Supreme Lord is explained in that verse. The next verse, 55, that is the third verse, instructs that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his inconceivable energies, is simultaneously one with and different from the living entities and the material energy. So this is the Siddhanta we follow, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. This knowledge is called Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. When an individual living entity surrenders to the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he can then develop natural transcendental love for him. This surrendering process should be the primary concern of a human being. In the next verse, 56, it is said that a conditioned soul must ultimately approach a bona fide spiritual master and try to understand perfectly the material and spiritual worlds and his own existential position. So all this can be very nicely explained only by a bona fide spiritual master. So we should take shelter of such a spiritual master who can explain to us the difference between matter and spirit and our position, how we can take shelter of that Supreme Personality of Godhead and get delivered from this material existence, which is temporary and always in frustration, always full of miseries. How we can go back home, back to what only a bona fide spiritual master can help us, not anyone else. So here the words Anvaya Vrati Rekhabhyam, directly and indirectly, suggests that one must learn the process of devote service in its 2 aspects. One must directly execute the process of devote service and indirectly avoid the impediments to progress. So there are 2 aspects to it. Anvaya Vrati Rekhabhyam, directly, indirectly. What is that? One must directly execute the process of devote service. So in the age of Kali, the best method for self-realization is devotional service. That's why Varnashrama Dharma is not easy in this age of Kali. Devi Varnashrama, devotional activities. Anybody can execute devotional service, irrespective of what Varna or Ashrama we are in. Not necessarily that only Brahmanas can do devotional service. Yes, Vedas. Only qualified Brahmanas can learn learn Vedas and chant Vedic mantras. Others are not eligible because they are not in mode of goodness. They don't have the quality. But devotion service, irrespective of what varna or what asama we are in, we can still do. There is no rules and regulation. It's not governed by any rules and regulation. Anybody can do devotion activity. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Anybody can do that. Okay. Prahlad, born in a Asuric family. If he can do devotional service, why not us? It is showing that it's not necessary that one should be born in a Sura family or one should be a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or Vaishya. Anybody, Shudra, even people below the Shudra level can take up devotional service and no hard and fast rules. One can elevate himself or spiritually elevate himself simply by executing devotional activities. So that's why even in our society also, Devi Varnashrama is recommended, not the other Varnashrama, because it is very difficult in the present age to follow the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that classification. Because at the end of the day, if you see, everybody is Shudra or even below Shudra. Where do we find qualified Brahmanas or Kshatriyas or Vaishyas? Brahmanas are supposed to inspire, advise the Kshatriya class, which is not happening nowadays. Kshatriyas are supposed to protect others, which is not Vaishyas are supposed to protect cows and cultivate agriculture, go Krishi Vanija and trade. They're all corrupted. So it's not happening. And Shudra. So most of them are on the Shudra platform, most of them, because of the influence. We're not belittling anyone. It is a fact that everyone is Shudra or below Shudra because everyone is working for some money, for some benefit. Those who take or accept salary, they cannot be called Brahmanas. Brahmanas, they accept only Dakshina. And whatever the person gives Dakshina, maybe it is 1 rupee, maybe it is 1 million rupee, you should be satisfied by that. But nowadays, they're all asking, give me 50,000, give me 100,000, give me 200,000. It's not Dakshina, it's just salary. And everybody, all the Brahmanas are working in corporates, engineers, doctors, this, that. It's a good opportunity to, for all of them to become Brahmanas, at least born in a Brahmanical family, because it's a conducive atmosphere for everybody to take up devotional activities because it's higher birth, definitely higher birth. In a corporate office, there are different positions depending upon the qualification experience, isn't it? There are CEOs, general manager, managing director, managers, supervisors, officers, laborers, all. Why this? Is it disparity? It's not disparity. According to one's educational qualification, different positions are given. Similarly, according to the different consciousness level, different category of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is given. So where is disparity? It's not caste based. It's guna and karma. So Krishna says, Chadurvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhavasha. It's not divided according to the caste. It is guna, the quality, the consciousness, karma, what activity we are doing. Accordingly, this is classic. So even though we may have taken birth in a Brahmanical family, unless and until we exhibit the qualities of Brahmana, we are never Brahmanas. Prabhupada says such people are called Brahma Bandhus, Dvija Bandhus, that relatives of Brahmanas, not Brahmanas. Ashwatthama was addressed as Dvija Bandhu. Okay, he is a Brahmana actually, born in a Brahmanic family, but he is not addressed as Brahmana. He is a Brahmana Bandhu, Brahma Bandhu, Divya Bandhu. So the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these are all based on guna and karma, not by birth. This is what we have to understand. Okay, Hare Krishna. So text 57, next class. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की इंटायर गो प्रेमानंदी. Hari. Thank you so much for patiently